To me, the position is only a name or a title that you use at work to give you the authority to perform better. But ultimately, at the end of the day, we're all employees. We're all in it in the same boat, working in the same direction.
From fast food server to CEO. If Hollywood ever makes a bioepic of Suhaimi Rafdi's life, it would be a tale of triumph, transformation, and a tireless passion to succeed. The youngest of 4 siblings, Suhaimi's parents separated when he was barely a toddler. Raised by his seamstress mother, whom he was especially close to, life for the family was tough. At 16, cancer took away the only parent Suhaimi knew. It was especially difficult for him.
It was tough because my sole idol that I had in life that I would turn to for every small thing had passed on. Because I grew up with her side by side, and having no one together to grow up with me was very, very challenging.
As the saying goes, behind every cloud there is a silver lining. Suhaimi made his personal setback as a wake-up call. He changed from a carefree teenager to one who became goal-oriented and determined to succeed. He worked part-time at several fast food joints, paying his own way through school and gaining valuable experience in the F&B industry. In 1991, Suhaimi moved on to the Singapore General Hospital as a housekeeping manager, where he faced the daunting challenge of introducing change.
I had to handle 200 over employees. It's quite difficult to make change. Those challenges were really, really painful for me at first, but over time when I won their hearts over, it became a breeze.
With his charisma, Suhaimi won the hearts of his staff. In 1996, he joined Cathay Organisation Holdings, one of Singapore's most well-loved institutions. Stepping into a different industry presented a new set of challenges.
Cathay Organisation was a sleeping giant. They had quite a lot of senior working staff who were not with the right attitude or mindset for change. And they were prepared to take the risk to get somebody not from the trade or industry to actually make this change happen.
And the risk paid off. Suhaimi helped shape Cathay from a family business to the dynamic, thriving organisation it is today, with business operations regionally and internationally. In 2004, Suhaimi had successfully grown Cathay's operations to a total of 7 branches in Malaysia and Singapore. He was also responsible for the operations and marketing functions of all Cathay Cineplex sites, as well as the film distribution of commercial films and acquisitions on both sides of the causeway. By 2006, Suhaimi became the president of business operations as well as corporate services of the organisation. And in just 2 years after that, he was promoted to Chief Executive Officer, overseeing all business functions of Cathay with an annual turnover of $200 million. His pillar of strength throughout his climb to corporate success was his wife, Maureen. However, in 2003, a tragedy struck his family. Maureen passed away from cancer, leaving him a young widower with 2 small school-going children.
She was a success so much at home that I was able to go to work, build my career with Cathay. But after she passed on 9 years ago, it was a very emotional moment for me. I wasn't sure what's to be done with 2 growing kids. But I suppose that was something that had to come forward. I had to juggle between being a good dad, being a great mom.
He basically had to play the mother and father role. For me, what I'm most grateful about is that he was there for my sister, which was very important to me because she's still growing up. She still needs guidance, especially through that crucial age.
I was just in primary school and I was going through a phase where I think I needed a mother the most. So he tried his best to see what growing girl needs from a mom.
Having successfully juggled the role of father and mother, Suhaimi adopted 2 more children from broken families. It was to fulfill a dream he shared with his late wife.
Regrettably, she didn't live that far to see to it that we could have 4 children. But I decided to keep true the tradition of wanting to have 4 kids by adopting the 2 additional children, which I now can consider my family as complete.
Books, you want books?
Wow, books galore, my God. We were brought to this world for a reason. And I think my primary reason is to bring up my good children. The fact that I adopted 2 more children, these were the fate of 2 children to be brought into good homes that would have otherwise been abandoned and left astray.
This spirit goes beyond helping people. Suhaimi takes care of some 20 abandoned cats in his house. And he always has food stashed in the boot of his car to feed strays.
I picked up this habit from my late mom. Whenever she sees a stray cat at the side, she'd probably say a passing remark to say, "I wonder whether has a cat eaten." And I somewhat rather picked that habit to actually feed stray cats.
That was not the only tradition that he picked up from his late mother that continues in the family.
I learned how to cook basically from my mom. Before my late wife passed on, she had passed me some secret recipes that she asked me to take on the tradition of the family, which I did gladly. And after she passed away, it was mandatory for me to cook every weekend for the kids. Then I got the hang of cooking and I realized cooking became very therapeutic for me, especially after a hectic week in the office.
For years, meals are homemade daily.
I like to cook mainly for my friends, for my office staff, for my colleagues and relatives. And I do a big do once a year during Hari Raya, where I would invite about 150 people to my home.
As a boss, Suhaimi demands the best from his staff. However, his experiences has molded him into a CEO with a heart. His son, George, who works part-time for Cathay, sees this clearly.
Everybody just says praises about him, like, how he's done so much for them. He is not the CEO that's always about in the office, he's always in the ground, seeing how people are, just seeing how the staff is doing, He knows some of them personally, which makes things better.
Suhaimi is a boss that expects 300% from his team, but in return he gives 400. He has a never say die attitude.
Humorous, diligent, and awesome. He's never failed to crack a joke or 2 in all our meetings with him, and he always has solutions to all problems.
He is the one who trained so many of these junior to become a manager. 15 years ago, we only have 1 Cineplex, and which now we have 5. We are going to have another 2. I think the team is from a one-man show or 2-man, it become now a group of people involved on that.
Under his guidance and leadership, Cathay Cineplexes has grown, bringing the cinema experience to a new level. Suhaimi's next mission is to further strengthen the Cathay brand beyond Singapore's shores.
Singapore market for cinema exhibition has come to a point of saturation. It is no longer viable to operate a business in Singapore under circumstances such as high labour costs, scarce land space for you to build cinemas. The first priority was to go regional. In fact, we went international. We are now proud managers of our cinemas in Dubai and also in Doha, soon to come in the years ahead.
Indeed, even as Suhaimi's story is one of triumph, transformation and success, at the core of it all is a man with a big heart, who gives more than he receives, who continues to love life despite the challenges life presents him, who believes family must come first over everything else.
Thank to God, he's a person who knows where he stands in life. He knows that if you don't work hard, you cannot achieve what you want. I'm proud of him. He knows where he stands, and he's very humble.
There's a period where he had to struggle looking after the wife when the wife was diagnosed with sickness. So that period, how he looked after the family and then struggle with his career, which really moved us because it's not easy for him. Yeah, as
as a man.
Yeah.
Take care of the whole family.
The fact that I have gone through turbulent times growing up, and in the course of doing so, I was challenged in my second phase of my life with my wife passing on, and having to juggle through that with work, travel, and family. This has taught me one thing, that life is as such that one will have to persevere and make the best out of what you have in front of you, loving the people that you have with you throughout the whole time, and be inspired by where you wish to be someday, and the fact that life can only get better tomorrow.